From the Weather NorCal Command Center, this is your morning update.
Your weekend weather update is made possible by Caltrans District 2.
We're the locals down the street. The neighbor you come to for advice. A nest egg for the golden years. A loan or a new account for that growing business. What started in Chico 50 years ago has taken us all around California, providing big bank lending power and high-tech service, while keeping our relationships personal. We're still the locals down the street, no matter where your street might be. Tri-Counties Bank, California's local bank.
Well, happy Saturday morning to you. I'm meteorologist Mike Kruger in for Brian Wilson, not only today, but pretty much throughout the weekend. There you can see, of course, taking off with Kruger's Quickcast, just kind of a quick looking at what we can expect here for today. So as you're heading out the door this morning, or maybe enjoying your coffee this morning, those temperatures should be somewhere in the mid-60s for the valley. I don't expect to see a lot of haze and smoke out there, especially as we go through the rest of the day today. But this morning, it's dry. It's going to change, though, as we go through the day. Taking a look at Futurecast, you can see already as we take you through the afternoon, there are those showers and thunderstorms popping up. Now, most of the showers and thunderstorms will be west of Modoc County, Lassen County, and Plumas County. But places like eastern Shasta, even eastern Tehama County, could get in that. So Bernie, Shingletown, right, even to the east of Red Bluff, maybe a stray shower or two out towards Chico, Willows, and Oroville. Basically, as you head south in the valley, the chances for showers and thunderstorms diminish. So Redding has the best chance. Chico, Oroville has the lowest chance to see some of that activity. And there is a chance you could get through the day without even seeing a drop of rain. We're going to look at all of this in a lot more detail coming up in our deeper dive forecast. But again, this just kind of gives you an idea that the thunderstorms are going to be there, and then by tonight, they're gone. Not to mention your Sunday. As I mentioned, the smoke won't be as much of an issue. Still some haze out towards places like Siskiyou and Modoc County, and not to mention western Siskiyou County as well. But then as that rain kind of pushes on through, we're going to see a lot of that haze and smoke kind of push on out of here. Now, once the rain and moves on out, then maybe a little bit more haze and smoke coming from the fire. So here's today. I mean, it's going to be a lot cooler out there today, only reaching the mid to maybe some upper 80s in the valley, 60s and 70s for some of those higher elevations. And there you can see out along the coast, I mean, we're getting up to 70 for Eureka, 63 degrees out in Crescent City. So looking at your 7-day outlook, what we're going to be looking at here is dry conditions by tomorrow. Now, next week looking fairly dry. However, now seeing indication that by the end of next week, sometime around Friday, we could see some showers and maybe some mountain thunderstorms in there as well. Showers even for the valley, by the way. So kind of an interesting pattern here as we look at the long range. Not only is it going to be way cooler than normal, but eventually maybe even a chance for some more rain and thunderstorms by the end of next week. So again, very interesting. Now, as I mentioned, we're looking at some thunderstorms out there today. There's an easy way for you to track those. Of course, you can follow me on Facebook or any other social media platform, and I'll have kind of some updates for you. But if you are out and about or you just want to check it yourself, use the free Weather NorCal app. You can track the storms by using the radar. It'll also tell you where the lightning strikes are as well. Check it out. Just search for Weather NorCal in your app store. All right, here's what we have, just kind of a basic rundown. Cooler this weekend, showers and thunderstorms today, gusty southwest winds for today as well, but no big heat waves going through next week. Now, we look at the air quality this morning. As we're looking here, most of that smoke is east of the Boise fire, even into parts of Siskiyou County and Modoc County as well. A little bit more in the way of that haze. But you head elsewhere, looks like we have some pretty good air quality, even in the vicinity of the Park Fire. Now, speaking of the Park Fire, keep in mind what we're looking at here are numbers from last night and early this morning. So these numbers, by the time you're watching this forecast, will most likely have changed. But the good news is we are now at 50% containment for the Park Fire. We haven't seen any growth, so this arm of the fire, really, which has been a big concern, still safe for Mineral, Mill Creek, still out of that perimeter, and of course, not to mention Childs Meadows. Again, this has not changed really all week long. We haven't seen much growth, if any, the park fire here for quite a while. Now, looking at the Boise fire, we are seeing growth, probably upwards of 500 to 600 acres in the last 24 hours. So most of that growth looks like it has been on more of that south side of the fire. Hasn't moved any closer to Orleans. And the 0% containment and those numbers, again, same for the Boise fire. They will most likely have changed by the time you're watching this. So just kind of be aware of that. But there's kind of a wider perspective, and still about 14.5 miles from, where was, let me just kind of take you back there again. 14, yeah, that was Hoopa. I was like, what? Yeah, 14.5 miles from Hoopa. That hasn't changed over the last couple of days as well. All right, then we take it to the north side of the fire, 6.1 miles from Soames Bar. Once again, that hasn't changed. And just again, to give you some perspective, this is the ridgetop that we're seeing here just east of Orleans. That is 2.5 miles from Orleans. Once again, that number hasn't changed either. So again, some really good information coming out of this, that even though we're still at 0% containment for the Boise fire, the growth has been fairly minimal, and it's, based on what they're saying there from the Incident Command Center is, yes, it's 0% containment, but they're being very conservative, and they will not put down any containment numbers until they feel 100% sure that that line is going to hold. And they feel pretty confident with some of the lines, but again, they just want to make sure that everything is where it needs to be before they actually start saying it's contained. So just kind of something to kind of have in the back of your mind when you do see that 0% containment. It looks a little bit better than it may seem. All right, so there you can see some of the smoke that we will see here for today. You see how it's dissipating, and a lot of that is thanks to the fact that we are going to see those showers and thunderstorms. Although lightning will be a bit of a concern, which we'll get into that and what that's all going to mean, because, we're going to be looking at dry and windy conditions right here. No thunderstorms in the forecast today for Modoc County, eastern Lassen County, but it's the windy conditions associated with the storm that's responsible for the thunderstorms that will give us windy and dry conditions, elevating that fire danger, hence the red flag warning. Now, the red flag warning for central and western Siskiyou County, it's for a different reason. This is because of the chances for thunderstorms in the forecast, which would mean the potential for dry lightning as well. So this is for the thunderstorms, dry lightning, gusty outflow winds. This is for dry, warm, and windy conditions. So two completely different reasons for those red flag warnings. Kind of an interesting thing here that I'm reporting here, because again, the areas in orange here, W, is where we're going to see some of the strongest winds. So that's the reason why with those dry conditions here and the winds, that is going to elevate that fire danger there. Okay, so let's take a look at those winds. Here's what it looks like mid-afternoon. There you can see, we're getting in the reds here. That's getting upwards of 40 miles per hour for parts of the valley. But look at Alturas, gusts over 30 miles per hour. Susanville, close to 30 miles per hour as well. So again, you can see why we are seeing that red flag warning in that area here, all right? And of course, you'll notice the wind's not as strong as you head west of the valley. All right, then we go into Sunday, and it looks like we are going to see a bit of a break from those winds. So again, the fire outlook, mainly in the elevated, but look at northeast Modoc County within that critical category once again because of the gusty winds and dry conditions. And even though the winds are dying down, it's still going to be a little gusty even for tomorrow, which is why it's still in that elevated range for eastern Modoc County and eastern Lassen County as well. All right, so again, it's the winds and the humidity. So let's take you through the day today. So again, you see the big differences here. So here we are where we have the red flag warning. Look at the humidity in Alturas and even east of that. It's very dry. We're down into the low teens. All right, but look at Chico. You think of yesterday, it was around 15%. We are more than double in our humidity levels. This is going to be a big help with the park fire. But that being said, still a bit of a concern with those gusty winds, despite the fact that the humidity levels will be up. Yes, the humidity is going to help offset the gusty winds that we will see, but that still is going to be a cause for concern here over the park fire. Now, the winds, as I mentioned, won't be as strong over the Boise fire, probably 10, 15, 20 miles per hour at best, but you're looking at some pretty good humidity levels. But then as we go into Sunday, that storm system's pretty much out of here. We're back to very dry conditions once again near the Park Fire, and not to mention off to the east here, which again is why we have that red flag, not red flag warning, but of course the elevated fire risk there because of the dry conditions and still breezy, borderline windy there, even for your Sunday. And again, the wind's not as much of an issue off to the west. Okay, so here's the big picture. You've got an area of low pressure right here. This is responsible for helping to bring in that moisture, showers and thunderstorms we're going to see today, but also with high pressure. There it is right over here, the monsoon moisture. The squeeze play between the two is really what's going to help to bring us those just overall gusty winds. All right, so let's talk about the chances for thunderstorms. Where you see the light shades of green, it's just a general overall sense of saying, hey, this is where we have the best chances for thunderstorm development. Some of them could get strong, some of them could even get severe. Now, where you're seeing the darker shade of green, you have 5 categories. 1 through 5, high being the highest category at 5, okay? So we very rarely get anywhere into that 4 to 5 category. Typically what I've seen in my years of forecasting here is the dark green, yellow, and maybe every once in a while you get into that orange, but that's really the extent of it. We don't typically see these colors here. They're typically reserved for places in the deep south where we have a lot of that severe weather. But again, back home, this is indicating that we could be looking at even a better chance for some strong to severe thunderstorms in that darker shade of green. And that's to be expected. You think about a few days ago where we saw those strong thunderstorms in Siskiyou County. I think we could see maybe a bit of a repeat of that as we go into today. But you'll notice off to the east, Modoc County, Eastern Mountains, not really getting caught up in that. All right, so let's walk you through the timing, get you through this here. So by noon, we're already beginning to see a line begin to develop here, maybe even a few light showers near Redding. But I think at the first half of the day, for the most part, not seeing a lot in the way of that wet weather. Then we go through the afternoon, 2 p.m., there are those thunderstorms beginning to pop up for the coast, for Trinity County, western Siskiyou County. But look at this, it's beginning to approach the valley as well, coming in from the southwest. So as we go into about 4 p.m., that all moves northward. Now, I think Corning northward could see some of that activity here for the first half of the afternoon. By 4 p.m., most of it will be to the north around Red Bluff and Redding. And then, of course, Siskiyou County, Delnor County really getting hit pretty hard. Not as bad for Humboldt County and southern Trinity County at this point, but you're still going to be looking at that potential for showers and thunderstorms. Again, that's today at 4 o'clock. We take into 6 p.m. You see how it's becoming a little less widespread, but look at Siskiyou County, still getting hit pretty hard. We still have northeast Shasta County, so Bernie, Shingletown, Viola, all of these areas could be looking at some thunderstorms popping up late this afternoon into the early evening hours. Things are tapering off to the south and west of that. And again, notice Modoc County, notice Lassen County. We really don't have much going on there, okay? Then we go into 8 p.m. So we could see some of that bleed and filter into western Modoc County, but that will really be about it. So places like Newell, Tule Lake, I think you could see some activity here later this evening and tonight. But notice it's not as widespread, maybe a few scattered showers here and there, and even some clearing for parts of the valley here by 8 o'clock tonight. Then we go into 10 o'clock tonight. It's all pretty much gone, minus overnight and into tomorrow morning, a few stray sprinkles and light showers for parts of the coast and even some of the inland areas. But then I do expect to see drier conditions for your Sunday afternoon, and not to mention even things beginning to clear out through Sunday night. So today is the main event. Now we look at the rainfall totals. One thing I want you to remember is I don't care how good or accurate a forecast model is, it has a hard time with showers and thunderstorms like this. When you're talking about, scattered showers and thunderstorms, some areas see a lot more rain than others. So this doesn't mean Etna is going to see the most amount of rainfall, right? Or, Redding will only see 307-inch rainfall. It just depends on where you are and who gets caught under these thunderstorms. The thunderstorms alone could bring us, I think, more than 307-inch of rainfall for even a short period of time. So this is just to kind of, again, really show where most of that development is going to be. Now, I think this is overdoing it. We're not going to see any rain down in Quincy or Portola. So really don't pay attention to those numbers there. But again, you'll see Shingletown, Bernie. Yeah, you could get caught up in some of that, not to mention even places like Fall River Mills. All right, so the long range, things are getting more interesting here too, because you see how we have an area of low pressure diving down from the south. This is going to help to maybe bring some clouds, but mainly dry through next week. However, the next system coming in on Friday could bring a chance for a few showers and thunderstorms on Friday, maybe even into Saturday as well, before that kicks on off to the north and to the east. So yeah, I mean, things getting really interesting here. Let's take a look at what that means for our temperatures. So there's the area of low pressure today, responsible for the winds. That's why we have the red flag warning off to the east, because of the dry and windy conditions. It's also why we have the red flag warning for Siskiyou County, because why? Yes, because of the thunderstorms and the potential for lightning, right? And those gusty outflow winds coming from those thunderstorms. Not to mention the thunderstorms we're going to see elsewhere today. Once that kind of moves off to the north, we don't see any more showers or thunderstorms for Sunday or Monday. We may see a bump up in our temperatures as a result as that scoots on out. Now this will continue to move on out, but behind it, another reinforcing shot of some cooler air comes in from Canada. This is by the middle of next week. No rain just yet, but what that's doing is preventing this heat from building back in. So our temperatures are going to stay below normal. Then it kind of dives down to the south. This is when we're talking about that potential for some showers and thunderstorms on Friday of next week, right? And then it looks like that's going to kick itself on out of here by Saturday, Sunday of that next weekend. And that heat, look where it is. It's mainly off to the east. This is really pushing it off to the east. Once again, keeping our temperatures below normal. But we may see some heat coming in from the south, so it may warm up again after that. But very interesting. Now, take a look at August. You know, when you think about the first week and a half of August, we were mostly over 100 degrees. But just this week here, this past week, starting Monday, we've been below 100 degrees. And you know what? If we extend this into next week, we're staying below 100 degrees. We're staying below normal. We could drop back down to the 80s by the end of next week with that chance for rain coming in as that cooler air moves on in. I do think that this long range is going to change. There seems to be some disagreement for some of those long range forecast models getting toward the end of next week, but the overall trend is there. And the main really story to pick out of this is whether or not we see rain toward the end of next week. Bottom line is the main bubble of heat is going to stay over the desert southwest and really even move east of that as well. And that's going to help to keep our temperatures down. So yes, these numbers are going to change in the next few days, but you get the idea, staying below normal. All right, let's take a look at those wave heights for today. And you can see still not that bad. No small craft advisories. They may increase a little bit here this afternoon, but then they'll probably decrease again going into your Sunday. So your marine forecast for your Saturday, south winds at 10 to 15 knots, waves from the northwest at 2 feet at 8 seconds. And of course, the scattered showers and thunderstorms out there today. All right, here's your detailed Trinity County neighborhood forecast. Temperatures 70s and 80s. So thunderstorms today, mainly dry for the rest of the weekend and going through next week. Although by Friday, for now, I've got that chance for showers and thunderstorms in there. I think we're going to be moving that around as well and maybe even taking it in, taking it out through the week. But I'm seeing that potential for some of the long-range forecast models, even for the coast, seeing some of those showers. Taking up north, 74 degrees for Gas Key, 81 for Hoopa, 84 degrees today in Willow Creek. Showers and thunderstorms throughout the afternoon today, and then maybe another chance for showers and maybe even some thunderstorms inland here for Friday as well. Siskiyou County, showers and thunderstorms, and I think this is where we're going to see the biggest threat for severe thunderstorms, meaning heavy rainfall, gusty winds, maybe some hail associated with that, and frequent lightning. That's why we do have that red flag warning for central and western Siskiyou County. So we've got to really be on the lookout here in Siskiyou County today. Sunday, though, we do dry things out, and then maybe another chance for more showers and thunderstorms by the end of next week. Your Modoc County neighborhood forecast, look at this. We don't have any showers or thunderstorms today, but again, maybe by the end of next week, that may change for Modoc County. Temperatures still on the cool, or should we say mild side, upper 70s to low 80s for most of us in Modoc County. Now, the eastern mountains, I do need to mention this. Now, you'll notice for Susanville, no showers or thunderstorms. That's the case. But Bernie, Fall River Mills, Viola, Mineral, Shingletown, all of these areas could get caught up in a stray shower or thunderstorm. Very slim chance, much like that of Chico, but Paradise seeing anything either. Meanwhile, off to the east of that, all of these areas should remain dry today, and I don't expect any thunderstorms there. Let's take you to the valley, southward, your valley neighborhood forecast. So again, I put the word chance in there for Saturday in Chico. So I'd say Corning northward has the best chance for showers and thunderstorms. South of Corning, your chances diminish. Now, that doesn't mean you won't see anything. Don't be surprised if you live in Orland, Willows, Durham, Chico, Oroville, Biggs, or even Gridley. Don't be surprised if you see a stray shower or even an off chance for a thunderstorm. But as I mentioned, we're just seeing less instability heading to the south, and the positioning of that low pressure and the flow itself is keeping it mainly to the north of those areas. But Red Bluff northward, Corning northward, all seeing that chance for thunderstorms. As you head to the north, better chances. So Reading will see a better chance for a strong thunderstorm than, say, Red Bluff, for example. But the chances are there nonetheless. And then you'll notice on Friday, everyone does have that chance for some rain. So looking at your 7-day outlook for Reading, look at these temperatures now, okay? Just outside of the chances for rain, look at the temperatures. Absolutely beautiful for this time of the year. Upper 80s to low 90s through most of next week, but by Friday, as that cooler air moves in, back down to 86 and a chance for showers. That is your morning update. I'll, of course, be back at noon for your latest forecast.